Oftentimes, many people confuse tantrums and meltdowns, and I get it. On the outside, they look the same, but the differences are actually on the inside. So in today's video, I will be discussing the differences between a tantrum and a meltdown and how you can handle a meltdown more successfully and more at peace to restore that calm back into your kiddo. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is a brave place where you will find practical advice on raising mighty kiddos in neurodiversity affirming ways. Now let's talk about tantrums. Tantrums are typically very common during a child's development, right? So we will see an increase in tantrums during their toddlerhood, from the age of 1 to the age of 3. That's where we see an increase of tantrums. During this time in their development, it is actually age appropriate for us to see an increase in tantrums. And that is because their language development is not fully there where they want it to be. So they are having difficulty communicating their specific likes and wants. And sometimes even their physical development isn't there. So they are trying to accomplish something with their toys and they're unable to do so because of their age. And that gets them frustrated, right? So it is definitely age appropriate. We see it between the ages of 1 and 3. And the other difference is that tantrums are goal driven. So the minute you give them what they want or the minute you help them accomplish what they need, the behavior is gone. We see that disappearing. Now, if you're interested to know how to handle a tantrum in a positive way, please take a look at this video and take a look at this video, which I will link in the description below, so you find out positive ways on dealing with them. Now, meltdowns are very common in our neurodivergent population, such as people with autism or people with ADHD, okay? But they can also happen in neurotypical kiddos as well. A meltdown is a reaction of overwhelm, okay, of feeling overwhelmed. And that is often triggered by stimulus that is overwhelming us, our sensory system, right? So perhaps the kiddo is just overwhelmed with a lot of people or a lot of sounds or a lot of noise. So they start acting out very similarly to a tantrum. They throw themselves on the floor, they cry, they may hit themselves or hurt themselves, and they are in a very, very alerting state of being. Their nervous system is on high alert, right? They don't feel safe in their mind because of this sensory overload. So now that we know that meltdowns are a response of sensory overload, what we need to do to address them is to diminish the sensory input, okay? That may look like taking our kiddos to a different room, right? Turning down the lights. I really suggest this light here. It helps kind of put like a space feel to your room, and it's very soothing. I've heard of a lot of autistic individuals, adults, really finding peace when they use this light. Or you could use this other little pillow light here. This one's also very helpful. I will link all of these suggestions down below, okay? Because that can help just diminish the sensory input and establish the peace that your child needs in this time of alert. Now, another thing that's very calming during a meltdown is that deep touch pressure, okay? And you can offer that in many ways. You can offer that by giving your child a big, tight hug. You want mama to hug you? Can I hug you? Right? If they don't want you to touch them, it's okay. Respect that. Say, can mama squeeze you? Sometimes kids really love the squeezes, right? You squeeze them all down their arms and tightly, okay? You're not going to break the bone, but you do want to make it tight and firm squeezes, right? From the shoulders to the wrist, if they let you, their hands as well, if possible, down to their feet, okay? And that is very relaxing. So the minute that we're offering that deep touch pressure, we're helping dopamine and serotonin kick in, and those hormones help decrease our cortisol level. Cortisol level is our stress hormone, okay? That is what's being spilled all over your child's body when they're going through a meltdown, because remember, they are under attack. Their nervous system feels that way. And that's what it's important for us to understand about a meltdown. So the other thing that we want to do, or we can do, is offer them a weighted blanket, right? Putting a weighted blanket on their body and then just you rubbing their body calmly. Please remember that we want to diminish our demands during this stage. We're not going to ask them to stop doing something, to do something for us. No, we're helping them restore peace and balance in their nervous system. So keep that in mind, okay? So remember your voice to be as soothing as possible, as calm as possible. Just talk very low. The other thing you could do is with a pillow, you could push down on their body, okay? From their neck down to their toes. If you really want to see what these techniques look like in action, stay tuned because I will release a short video on implementing these techniques. So the next thing that you can do now that you've done that is, if hopefully by this time your kiddo is already, calming down and being able to listen to you a tiny bit more, right? You can offer them like, are you ready to breathe with mama? Are you ready? And if your child isn't breathing with you, that's okay. You could still model it, right? And by you remaining peaceful, by you remaining calm, you're hopefully bringing that calm over to your child during a meltdown. But now with these tips and the consistency of using these tips, hopefully you're able to help your child through a meltdown, to move through a meltdown a little faster. Now, once your child gets to the other end, right, now that your child is more regulated and has overcome a meltdown, offer them something to restore. What will recharge their energy? What will recharge their ability to keep going? Whatever it is that is recharging and re-energizing for your child in a peaceful way, go ahead and do so. I would love to hear some comments down below, suggestions that work for you, or any questions, leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.